Hi there, y'all. My name is Emily Gora. I'm an admissions counselor with the University of Texas at Tyler. I'm going to be walking you through a freshman application on Apply Texas today. So let's get started. I'm just on applytexas.org. So you can just put this front part here, applytexas.org, and it should take you to this page here, which is kind of the launching starting page. You can either click on Get Started or Create Your Account Now. It'll take you to the exact same place, which is this My Account dashboard, My Profile. So you're going to want to fill this out. This is going to be all your biographical information just about you. Anything that has an asterisk or this little red star by it is required. So it won't let you move forward if you don't fill that out. But I'll be helping you out with that, kind of getting through those. So the first things first, you will want to check this. By checking this box, you represent that you have read, understood, and agreed the terms and conditions of the private policy, which you can find here. It'll open in a new tab when you click on that. So then you're going to move down here to your full legal name. You'll want to make sure that you put this if it's on your driver's license, passport, birth certificate, so no shortened names, anything like that. Just go ahead and put your full first and last name. So our test student, we're going to do just test last name. And it doesn't have to be in caps. I'm just doing that so it helps me kind of remember that it's a name. And then we're going to just use student for the first name. If you have a middle name and want to share it, you can put it here. It is not required. And then also if you're a junior, senior, second, third, etc., you could select that here as well. Okay. Then we're going to move down here to your date of birth. First by selecting the month, the day, and we're going to say 2001. Okay. And then we're going to put our city that we were born in. We're in Tyler, and then Texas. Obviously, you're going to put your information here. I'm just putting this for our test student. If it was outside of the United States, you can select a country here. If not, just keep it at this top selection, okay? You're going to select your current grade level. It does not have a little red star next to it, so it's not required, but you'll just select, we're going to be a 12th grader today. You're going to select that there. You are required to select if you are a US citizen. So we will say yes. If you do select no, it will give you a few more options that you do have to fill out, but we will stick with yes for right now. All right, then we're going to fill out the email address. So this is very, very important that you complete or that you fill it out with something that you have access to. And a lot of times students want to use their school email that they're issued when they go into high school or however, but a lot of schools do not allow outside emails to come in. So you want to make sure that you put either a personal email or something that you can have access to. So we're just going to put in my email right now. Okay, and it will make you type it again. So we just want to make sure we're double checking that everything is spelled right. Oh, edu. All right, and then you're going to go down here. This email is correct and I have access to it. So we'll click yes. Again, just double check. Make sure everything is spelled correctly. The important thing about this is you will be sent a verification email, which is necessary for submitting your account. So we want to make sure that this is super correct, okay? Then we're going to move down here to our permanent address. So you'll type in your permanent address. Oops. I cannot spell. So you'll do the numbers and the street name. If you have an apartment or anything like that, you can put it in the second line. You'll do your city, you'll do your state, and then your zip code. Again, if you're outside of the United States, go ahead and select it or just leave it on this top one. All right. If you have a physical address, so a current street address where you reside and it's different from above, you will complete this. If not, if it's the same as your permanent address, just go ahead and leave it blank, okay? So I'm going to just leave mine blank because my permanent address and my physical address are the same. We're going to move down here to phone numbers. So numbers only, no dashes, dots, or parentheses. So just type it as is. Okay, if it's an international phone number, you could put the code there. Then you're going to select what type of phone number it is. Okay, so I'm going to put work since that is my work phone number. If you do have another phone number, so if you have like a cell phone number and a house number, this would be the place that you can put it, but only one is required. Okay. We're going to then move down here to the emergency contact. So for our test student, we're going to do their mother. So we're just going to obviously put your real mom's name, but I'm just going to put mother for this. And her last name is Test. All right, so we're going to put her phone number again, no dashes, no dots, no parentheses, just put it as you would put it, 976. Okay, again, if it's international, go ahead and put that. If they don't have a phone number or you don't know it, you can always put no phone, but we do encourage that you fill it out completely, okay? You can put the street address. Even if it is the same as above, go ahead and retype it again. Okay, again, apartment number or anything like that would go on the second line. The city of Tyler, Texas. Zip code, and in the US, and then an email address. So I'm just going to use our admissions email address right now so that I have something that's different than my personal one, okay? Then we're going to move down to the ethnicity and race questions. These are not required, but you can fill them out. So I'll go ahead and do that. Anything that is applicable to you. Okay, and then this is our password information. So this is where you will be creating your password for Apply Texas. So you want to make sure that it's something you can easily remember. It's going to be between 8 and 12 letters long, and it must contain at least one number. So I'm just going to do something super easy that I can remember. You will need this every time you want to access Apply Texas. So again, make sure it's something that you can remember. You can go ahead and write it down now if that helps you, okay? Then you're going to click I am not a robot, and it might make you take a little test, but no, it doesn't. So we're going to click Save Profile. All right, if you've done everything right, you will see your new username, I'm sorry, pop up here. So you can see here your username is this. If you had anything that was wrong, a big red box will pop up here, and it will tell you which things you need to go back and look at. But if you completed it just like I completed it there, you should be good. So if you're seeing this screen that shows your username, you have completed that first page correctly. All right, so then we're going to move on to actually completing the application. So we want to click on this second tab here that says My Applications, and we're going to want to create a new application now. We're then going to scroll down a little bit and click this big middle bar here, create a new four-year university undergrad admissions application. So go ahead and click on that. You're going to select your target university, which is us. The easiest way to do it is scroll all the way to the bottom, or like the fifth from the bottom here. Okay. You're going to then select your application type, so either a US freshman or a freshman international. The international one is slightly different, but for today's purposes, we're going to stick with the US freshman, okay? So we're going to click on that and click Continue. You'll then select a semester that you are wanting to enter. For our test purposes today, we're going to do fall 2021. So that would be beginning in August of 2021. So if you graduate in May 2021, this is more than likely the one that you're going to be selecting, okay? So go ahead and click that and continue. You're then going to select your major. So we do have two choice slots here, but you are only required to select one. So if you have two, you can. You do have to at least just select one. So our test student is going to be a computer science student. So we're going to keep that.
We're not going to select a second one, but again, it's the same list if you are wanting to choose a second one, okay? So then click continue. All right, so then we're going to get ready to start our application. So you want to just double check here, University of Texas at Tyler. It is a freshman admission for fall 2021. So just double check that all that information is applicable to you. And then we're going to click continue to my application. All right, so that brings us to page 1. So again, you're going to see it's biographical information. So a lot of the information that we have already filled out is going to be filled in for us, which is great. So we can move through this page a little bit quicker. But again, I just want to make sure that if you see this little sign, the little red star, that is required. So starting with our US Social Security number, it does not have an asterisk by it. So you don't have to fill it out, but we do highly recommend filling it out. This helps on the end of FAFSA. So when you fill out your financial aid, it helps go ahead and link those two together a little bit quicker. But if you don't know your Social Security number or you're not 100% sure, don't put it in there. You know, you don't want to put a wrong information in there, and then that can kind of create more problems. So if you know your social and you're 100% confident with it, go ahead and put it in here. If not, you can leave it blank. It won't penalize you anything. It'll maybe just move your connecting process a little bit slower. So I'm going to leave that blank for right now, because my fake student does not have a Social Security number. And then you're going to just go back down and start filling this out. So as you can see from our first page, our information has been brought over here. Same with our full legal name, that is here as well. So you don't really need to touch any of this. This is the place though, if you do have a shorter name, so if your full name is Michael, but you go by Mike, you could type it in here. But again, it's not required. And if you do have any other aliases, you go by any other names. If you were married or anything like that, you could put that here. But again, not required. Our place of birth has been pulled over from our first screen, so we don't have to worry about that. Same with our citizenship information. You then can fill out information of if you're current U.S. military service member, veteran, or dependent. So if your parent or anyone like that, you'll just want to read through this section and see if anything of this applies to you. For my test student, I am going to skip over that. Your permanent address has been pulled from the first page as well, so it makes it super easy. You don't have to touch anything here. And again, with the physical address, we can move right past that. Phone numbers are the same, as well as the emergency contact. So again, just leave that as is. Student email. Make sure, again, this is another chance to just double check that your email is correct. Again, it's super important that that is right so we can verify our information at the end, okay? And then our family educational background is the first thing that we need to jump on, okay? So we will select, you'll either choose your first parent or guardian. It can be your mom or your dad. So we're gonna start with mom. We'll say that she has some college, and she's our mom, okay? Then our second parent or guardian, you can select, we'll say that they have an associate's degree and they're the father, okay? So you'll just complete this however fitting to you and your situation. So just leave that as that. Again, ethnicity and race has been pulled over from our original screen, so we don't have to worry about that. Same with gender. But we will look at number 17, which is at any time in your life where you placed in foster care or adopted from the foster care system. So answer how that applies to you. And then number 18 is just a text messaging consent. So if you want or do not want Apply Texas and its partners to be able to communicate with you via email or text, you can either say yes or no here, okay? And that's completely up to you. It doesn't affect your application any. It's just an option through Apply Texas. Okay. So we just want to make sure that everything is looking correct. So you'll just go here, please confirm that we have stored the following information correctly. So check your first and last name as well as your birthday. And you will select yes, my name and birthday have been saved correctly, and click Saved Page. so we are done with page 1, and it will automatically take you to page 2, which is just some more biographical information. If you do speak a language other than English, you can select that here. And years spoken, if it's your whole life, you can go ahead and just put your age there. Family income, not required, but if you know it, you can go ahead and select it here, or you can even select unknown. Household size, how many people, including yourself, live in your household? So very important, this is including yourself. So if it's your mom, dad, and you, it would be 3. If you have any siblings, even brothers and sisters that are attending college, that would be included in that number as well. So we're just going to do 3 for our example here. You can answer this if you choose. Do you have any family obligations that keep you from participating in extracurricular activities? We're going to select no, but you can select yes if that applies to you. And then we're going to ask for some supplemental parent information. So you'll select whoever applies to you. We're going to do mother just because we're using that as our example. Again, her fake name is Mother. She doesn't have a middle name, but her last name is Test, and she doesn't have a suffix, okay? And then we're going to put if this person is still living, we'll say yes. And then if we live with this person, if you select yes, the information will populate itself, okay? If you select no, you will have to type in their address, okay? So we're just going to click yes because our fake mom lives with us. And then you will put in a phone number for her, a preferred phone number, numbers only. And we'll say that that is her home number. If she has another phone number, you can put it here as well, but it's not required. And then you will put her email address, her or him, whoever you're putting. Okay. If you want to add another parent or guardian, you can take the time to do that. All you have to do is select add another parent or guardian, this big blue button at the bottom here. But we're just going to stick with mom. So we're going to go here. Oh, it looks like I accidentally selected something. So we're going to do this. I didn't mean to do that, but here's a good example. If you do forget to do something that's in the asterisk, it will pop up like this, and it will tell you where you're missing that information. So that was a good example, even though it was just something I goofed up on. So then you'll fix whatever the issue was and scroll to the bottom and click Save Changes, okay? So now we're done with page 2, and we're on to page 3, which is educational background. If you are a freshman with no previous college credit hours, you can select this. If you do have some college credit hours, you can select this, and it will ask you how many that you will have by the time you graduate. So for our example, we are going to do some college credit hours because that affects our application a little bit further down as well. So we're going to just say that they took 6 hours, okay? So 2 college classes. Then you will be required to ask if your college credit hours were through any kind of dual credit, concurrent enrollment, or an early college high school. So we're going to say yes. We're going to say that our student took them through dual credit. All right, then we're going to fill out our high school that you're graduating from or expect to graduate from. You have to click this blue button. You can't just, you can go, but it's a little bit easier if you just select this Find Your High School. So we're just going to do a high school here in Tyler. So we'll do John Tyler. Oops, if I could spell. It is in the United States. It's in Texas. And it's in Tyler. Okay, and it's a high school or secondary school. So you click Submit, and it should bring up a list. Luckily, John Tyler is right here at the top. So you will want to make sure that you select that, and it'll populate right here in that text box, okay? Something important a lot of people miss is your expected graduation date, okay? So don't skip over that because it will make you come back. So our example, we're going to say that they graduate in May 2021. All right. If you do have more than one high school, if you've attended more than one high school, you can go ahead and click here, and it'll give you an option to put some more schools in there, but it's not required if you only have attended one, okay? All right, you'll answer if you're homeschooled. So we're gonna say no since we go to John Tyler. Do you plan on graduating with the IB, through the IB program with an IB diploma? You can select yes or no. Do you have a GED or have you completed another high school equivalency program? We're gonna say not applicable, or you can say no. We'll actually do no because we are completing our degree through a high school. Okay, so since we said that we did go and get some credits through dual credit, we are going to want to list where we went, okay? So we'll click on the blue box again. We're going to say UT Tyler. We'll say UT Tyler. It's in the United States. It's in Texas. It's in Tyler. Okay. All right. So this one is not the top one, but it is the next one. So you want to just make sure you're really reading those. So we're making sure we're selecting the right thing. It fills it out for you. All right. And then we're going to say that we went here from August of 2020 to May of 2021. So you can go into the future. So like if you are planning on taking classes there until you graduate, you can do that. And we're going to say 6 hours because we took 2 classes. All right. You can enter a degree if you've received a degree. A lot of the time with dual credit, you'll leave this place blank, which you can do. And then we can scroll past all these other ones because we didn't attend anywhere else, and answer question number 5. So are you currently on academic suspension from the last college or university you attended? I'm gonna guess no. We're gonna cross our fingers. Hopefully nobody is on academic suspension. So we're gonna click no and click save changes. Okay, done with page 3, on to page 4. If we're planning on pursuing a pre-professional program, so anything like pre-law, medicine, nursing, veterinary, physical therapy, pharmacy, or other. So since we're computer science, we're going to select none. We are not seeking a teacher certification, so we'll select no. But if you do select yes, you would need to select which age level. Okay. So then we're moving on to our senior course information. So it's important that you just look at your last year. So both the fall and the spring semester. So the future, if you haven't entered the spring semester yet, you can enter what you will be taking. Okay, so I'm just going to put in some generic classes here. Let's say we took English 3. It wasn't AP or IB. We took it both the first and second semester. If your school does trimesters, you can select it over here. Okay. Let's see, what else did we take? We took pre-cal. It wasn't AB or IB, wasn't dual credit, but we did take it the first and second semester. Let's say we also took physics. AB, IB, dual credit, no, but 2 semesters. Let's say we were also in the band. Band's all year round, so we took that 2 semesters. We're also an athlete, so we took athletics or PE. We took that for 2 semesters. Okay, so then let's say we took an econ class. We took an economics class at UT Tyler. So we would say that is a dual credit, and it was only taken for 1 semester. All right, so we took that for 1 semester, and our next semester we took, let's say, political science, so poli-sci. And it was a dual credit. We took it through UT Tyler, and it was taken the 2nd semester. All right, so that's just kind of very vague, very general. You'll put your classes in there for your senior year, okay? And then just obviously select which semesters you took it. And we'll click Save Changes. All right, we're done with page 4 and on to page 5. This page is super easy. You will just select, if you are planning to take or have taken the ACT or SAT, you'll select and then you've taken it, or when you plan to take, you can select it here. All right. TOEFL and IELTS are only applicable to international students, so if that doesn't apply to you, just ignore these bottom ones right here, okay? As it says here, if your native language is not English. I will remind you, for the 2021 year, ACT and SAT are not required, so we can skip over this if you do not plan to take those. All right, so done with page 5, on to page 6 is residency information. During the last 12 months prior to the term in which you're applying, did you attend a public college or university in Texas in the fall or spring? So even if you've taken dual credit, you're going to select no here, because this is really more towards students that are transferring in. This is just if you have attended there solely at a public college or university and not while you were also attending high school, okay? So for our purposes today, we're just gonna stick with no. All right, which will prompt it to ask you a few more questions. What state or country are you a resident? So we're a resident of Texas. Did you live or will you have lived in Texas for 36 consecutive months leading up to your high school graduation or completion of a GED? So select what applies. We're gonna say yes for our test student. When you begin the semester for which you are applying, will you have lived in Texas for the previous 12 months? Again, select what is applicable to you, but we are going to say yes. All right. So this doesn't have any new information. We just want to make sure that the questions that we answered are correct. So just take a second to look over this and make sure that everything you answered is correct. All right. So then we're done with page 6 and our residency questions. We're going to now move on to page 7 with our extracurricular and volunteer activities. Okay. So at the top here, you'll see it talk about a separate resume. At UT Tyler, we do not require separate resumes, and we actually don't look at those. So if you want to make sure that everything that you are submitting is on this online resume that you're about to fill out here, okay? So very, very important. Don't select that you're submitting a separate resume. We want to make sure that everything that you are submitting is on this scholarship or is on this application, okay? So go ahead and click or scroll down. And we'll start here. So these are your school activities. So if you're involved in the band or NHS or anything like that, you would put that here. So our test student is going to be part of the John Tyler High School Band. Okay, oops. And we'll say that they play the trumpet. You can put anything for the description that gives us a little bit more information about what you did in that activity. We're going to say that they did that for all 4 years as a member. And if you were a captain or if you're anything like that, you could put that here. I'll show that in a later example as well. But we were just a member of the band and we were not elected for that, so we can say not applicable. All right, and then over here, it's going to ask you the hours per week and the weeks per year. You can just kind of guesstimate this. Just give us kind of a general idea. So we're going to say 12 hours per week. Let's say they practiced 2 hours a day and then they had some hours on the weekend for football games or however. And then we're going to say maybe 40 weeks per year. And this is just, again, a guesstimation based on, you know, how long the school year is and stuff like that. So just give it a second and kind of think through how long that you do your sport or activity and then break it down here, okay? Something I did miss is you will need to select at what level you are doing this activity. So typically we just say district if it's for your school. We're also going to say that we're on the track team. So, oops, we're going to say John Tyler High School. Okay. And this, it can be really general. You can just say ran track. It doesn't have to be anything too descriptive. Let's say that we only did this for 3 of our years there, okay? And we were a member of the team this year. We were a member of the team this year. But then we got elected to captain our senior year, okay? So you can put that here, or if you were the president of the club or organization, treasurer, anything like that, you can put that here, okay? So we do not applicable again. And then for this one, we'll say yes, because we were elected to that position. Again, just give a rough estimation. So let's say they practice 8 hours a week. Oops, this would be 0. And then we'll say that they did maybe, I don't know how long track season is, but maybe 30 weeks out of the year. Okay. All right, so that is that one. If you don't have a third activity, you don't have to fill this out. You can just leave this blank. Oh, and once again, I forgot activity level, so we're just going to do district again. All right, so then we're going to scroll down here. You can, I always recommend click Save Progress, just in case something happens. This is saved up here. And then we're going to move down to our community or volunteer service. So if you volunteer with a church, or if that's animal shelter, anything like that, if you have any kind of service hours, this is going to be the place to put it. So we're going to say that our student volunteers at the East Texas Food Bank. All right. And we'll say that they organized care packages. Okay. So you just put a brief description of what you were working on. We'll say that they've done it for a total of 12 or 30 hours, and then you'll put from when you did it. So we'll say they did it from May 2020 until August 2020. So they did it over the summer. Okay. If you have another service experience, you could put that here as well, but if not, you can leave it blank. Again, click Save Progress, just so we don't lose anything. And then you can move down here to Talents, Awards, and Honors. So if you were in UIL and you were a regional qualifier, or if you anything like that, you can put here if you won some kind of award through your athletic team or through the band, you could put that here as well. So I'm going to leave this blank for our student, but if you have anything, make sure you do list it on here, okay? The more the better. So we're going to then click Save and complete this page. All right, so we're done with page 7 and now on to page 8. If you do have a job, an internship, or any kind of summer activities, you can put that here. So our student, we're going to say that they were a checkout clerk at Brookshire's. Okay. Brookshire's is a local grocery store. I forget that maybe not everyone is from around here, but Brookshire's is our local grocery store. So we're going to say that they worked, 30 is a little much. So we'll say that they worked 20 hours per week at the Brookshire's grocery store as a checkout clerk, okay? And then we're going to put that they worked there. Let's say they started in January of 2019. And that they currently still work there now. So we can put today's date, or now's date, so September of 2020. So if you currently work there, you can just put whatever date and month that we're currently in, okay? And then we're gonna click Save Changes. If you have more than one, obviously these spaces are here for you to fill that out. All right. My computer is going a little slow. Okay, but now we're on to page 9. So these are custom questions for our institution. They are required, as you can see here in big bold letters. if you are a U.S. citizen and you were born outside of the U.S., all you have to do is explain how you became a citizen. If this does not apply to you, go ahead and just put in A and click Save. All right, our next custom question is going to be your physical address for the last 3 years. If you have multiple, you can put them, you will list them. We're just gonna put our one since that's the only place that we have lived. And just type it like you would any other, any other address. Okay, and like I said, if you have more, then you would just enter down and type them here, okay? But we only have the one, so we're gonna click that. And this is a little confusing. It gives you this almost like it's an error, but you did it correctly, okay? So addresses for the last 3 years have been successfully saved. So don't let that fool you. It is kind of funky. All right, so then we're going to move on to this fee waiver question. If you've requested a fee waiver application, you must send a written request to admissions@uttyler.edu and explain why you need this waiver. For this section, just go ahead and leave it blank or put NA unless you are instructed otherwise. Okay, so we're going to just move past this. Again, if you have been instructed to put something here, make sure that you do that, but if not, go ahead and just put NA. We'll click Save. All right. This is optional, but if you authorize to use your listed cell phone number for the purposes of official university text communications, you can select that here. We just usually send out texts if we are updating you on an event coming up, or if we need anything, additional information from you, you can select that here. So we are going to select yes, because it is a good service that is super helpful. All right, then you're going to select your t-shirt size and click Save. All right, then it tells you it has been successfully saved and you'll complete this page, okay? So now we've moved on to the scholarship part of the application, okay? I'm going to move past this for right now, just so I can show you how to get back into the application and apply for scholarships. But if you want, you can go ahead and just click Apply for Scholarships and it won't mess you up where you are in your kind of flow of this application. But for right now, I'm going to show you just how to continue forward and submit your admissions application and then come back and apply for scholarships. Okay, so right now we're going to just click Continue to the essay section. The great news about UT Tyler's admissions application is that we do not ask for an essay for this application type, okay? So for just our general admissions application, you do not have to type an essay. So that is great news. We can just go ahead and click forward. You'll have to click this twice because it makes you acknowledge the essay requirements and then continue to application submission. All right. So something very important before we start this page, you should have received an email in the email to the email address that you put on your biographical information. You're going to want to make sure that you go on there and click that you have verified your account. So the email should just have a link in it. You'll go ahead and click that link. It should take you to a page that makes you put in your email address. You'll go ahead and put your email address in and click Submit. If you've done it correctly, it should take you right back to the Apply Texas homepage, okay? And if it does, that means you've done it correctly, and you can go ahead and close that page out and return to your application like you have in front of us right now, okay? If you do not do that or you have not received that email, you may want to go back and double check which email that you have put on file. Again, that's why it's so important that you don't put a school one, because a lot of the times those Apply Texas emails don't come into your school inbox. So go ahead and take a second if you haven't already to verify your account. You won't be able to submit it without, okay? So Then we're going to start this last page. So you'll want to make sure you read through all of this. This is pretty much certifying that you have given us all the correct information. And if you are accepted, that you will abide by the policies, rules, regulations at the college that you're admitted at, okay? So again, just take a second, read through all of these below statements and make sure that, you know, you do agree with them and that you check it. This next section is if you want them to have permission to contact you regarding your Apply Texas application or any related educational outreach programs. Again, that's completely up to you. We are going to put yes, just for the purposes of our test. Reverse transcript, your transcript will be shared with the community college you previously attended for considering your eligibility for an awarding of an associate's degree. If you qualify, typically you can just click not applicable because that's, again, mostly for our transfer students. So you can just click this not applicable down here. Application sharing, this is not, you don't have to select it, but should you be denied admissions from a particular degree program, do you allow the institution to share your application for admissions with other institutions that offer that same degree program? If that's something that you're interested in, you can select yes or no. We'll do yes just for our test. All right. And then we're going to make sure that we select this. That everything that you have typed on your electronic resume is correct, and that all the information that you have given to us is true and fair about you, okay? So you'll just want to read through this and click that you agree. Financial aid information, you must apply for financial aid separately through Financial Aid Online or FAFSA.gov. You can click that here. If you have any questions about that, you can always reach out to our financial aid office directly and they can help you out with that. Okay, so then we're going to scroll down here. So our application fee for fall 2021 is $60. You can pay online by scrolling down here and selecting MasterCard, Visa, check, or money order. You can also select request for fee waiver. The important thing about selecting request for fee waiver is that you have to reach out to us with the required specific documentation. Just by selecting this does not make you eligible for a fee waiver. You have to submit a fee waiver form and supplemental documentation to admissions@uttyler.edu. If you have any questions about that, you can always reach out to us. But again, just remember that selecting this does not put you automatically up for a fee waiver. You do have to do some additional steps, okay? But if you do select request for fee waiver, you can submit the application without paying right then, okay? But it will go onto your account as a to-do list item until your request for fee waiver has been granted or you've paid, okay? So then we're gonna be able to be ready to save and proceed to application submission. Okay, so if you have verified your account, it'll bring you to this page, okay? And you'll want to select this. Once you submit your application, you will not be allowed to change it in any way. So this is just for your admissions application. You still will be able to go back and submit a scholarship application, but this is just in regards to your admissions application, okay? So even though they are on the same Apply Texas, they are two separate applications. So we are ready to submit our admissions application. So we're going to select that we acknowledge this and click Submit Application Now. All right. So if this comes up, you have successfully submitted your application, okay? You'll want to maybe write this down just to have, you can also always access it on your account dashboard. So, you know, just if you want to kind of take note of that there. All right, so we have submitted our admissions applications for UT Tyler. So now we want to look at submitting our scholarship application, okay? To the account dashboard. So you should be able to see here the last time you updated it, and that is your University of Texas at Tyler application. If you've applied to more than one school, you'll have them kind of listed out here below it. So we want to go here. You'll see that our US freshman application has been submitted, which is what we just did. And then we want to complete this scholarship application, okay? The deadline for our competitive scholarships is December 1st, so we want to put that right there. And we will go ahead, and we haven't started it, so that's why it shows inactive here. So you can sign all the way out, and if you then needed some help or anything like that for a scholarship application, you can always sign back in and click apply here. So this will get you to the application, so we'll click apply. All right, so this opens up page 1 of the scholarship application. It kind of looks like you'll maybe recognize it when we were in the middle of the app and I said continue to the essay section. So it just brings you back here, but this time we will want to click apply for scholarships. Okay. All right. So then we'll scroll down here. So this information is optional. So your high school counselor information is optional with the phone number, but we do encourage that you fill it out. And that's the same for all these pages. So as much information as you can give us, the better. So if you do need a parent or maybe even your high school counselor to help you out with this, you can always save without submitting. So there's a difference between saving your application and submitting your application. If you save your application, you can always come back and edit information. If you submit your application, you cannot. So since we have already submitted our admissions application, we can't go back and edit it, but we can save our scholarship information. So if you fill it out and you're not too sure about the information or you need to ask a question or anything like that, you can always save it and log back in and edit it, okay? And that's especially important for our scholarship application because we want to make sure that you're giving us as much information as you can, as much accurate information. So if you're not sure or you just need to ask a question, you can always leave it blank and come back to it, okay? So this first page, you'll just start with filling out your high school counselor's information with their phone number. So a lot of this stuff I will be leaving blank and just showing you. You'll just want to make sure that, again, you're filling this out. So FAFSA and other funds. So this might be something that you need help with your parent. So again, you can leave it blank for right now. It is optional. You can submit the scholarship app without filling it out. But again, we highly recommend that you fill out as much information as possible, okay? If you don't want to be considered for scholarships based on need, you can skip these next questions all the way down to question 17, which is the last one. Okay, so just scroll through here and answer these questions. They range funds for college saved by you, by others, by your parents, etc. Just scroll through this, make sure you're double checking all the information that it is correct and accurate. So just kind of go through here. Again, I'm just leaving it blank just for the purpose of our test, okay? So once you complete this, you'll click Save Changes to this page, all right? Which will take you to page 3. If you are eligible for the National Merit Scholarship, that's something that you and your counselor probably know, so you'll complete this information here. Any other scholarships or grants that you will receive, maybe from an outside third party or anything like that, you can list here. You can also list other scholarships for which you have applied for. So you'll complete that here. All right. So then you're going to fill out these short answer questions. So as it says right here, we strongly encourage that you save the answers in a text or word processing, so like a Word document or anything like that. That not only helps you kind of spell check and stuff like that, but it also just kind of helps you see it all, and then you can copy and paste it into these smaller boxes, okay? So you will answer these questions, these short answer questions here. Again, make sure you are thorough with your answers, and you kind of give us as much information as you can within the character limit, okay? So you'll complete the short answer questions. Once you're done with those, you'll click Save Changes. All right. So the available scholarships page, so this is just letting you know that you are automatically considered for all of the following freshman scholarships, okay? So just by completing this application and submitting any supplemental documentation, you will be automatically considered for the freshman scholarships here, okay? You can select some other ones if you are applying for other scholarships within the university. You can put those here. Once you've completed this information, click Save Changes to this page. And then it takes you to our final page 6 of custom questions, okay? These are required. As you can see here in the bold, it does say required. You'll want to answer if you are graduating from early college, high school. For our test student, we're going to say no, but if you do, make sure you select yes. You will save and acknowledge this question, which will just take you to another page where it says it's successfully saved. All right, so then we come to our essay topic, okay? It is required that you submit an essay for scholarship. So I know I said before that it is not required for admissions purposes, but it is required for a scholarship, okay? So you'll want to make sure that you select this here. So institution-wide scholarship essay topic is what you're looking for, okay? You will select this link here, which will take you to a new page. And you'll want to make sure you read this very, very carefully, okay? Again, we encourage using a word processor to write your essay and then save a copy for yourself. Make sure you format and all that. It will be lost once you copy and paste it onto here. So if you do any kind of bold or anything like that, it will be lost when you carry it over. But it just helps with, like I said, spell check and making sure you can kind of see the full essay. So when you're ready to submit your essay, you'll copy and paste it here. You'll want to make sure that you read this question very carefully, 300 to 500 words, and answer the question, okay? So for this purpose, I'm just going to copy something from our website just so I can have some words in here, so it will let me submit it. So again, like you see, if there was any kind of bold or anything like that, it makes it all plain text. Okay, so just keep that in mind when you're going through your essay on the Word document. So once I've typed my essay or copied and pasted it into here, I'm going to click Save Essay. It will let us know that our essay has been successfully saved. All right, and we can take a look at it here again. But then we're just going to want to click on Return to the University of Texas at Tyler application, which will take us back to this page where we originally clicked on the link. Okay, so we have submitted it. We want to save all our required essays. It'll just refresh the page, and you'll have to click this again to continue to the application submission. Okay. All right, so this will take you to a final page, again, very similar to our final page of our admissions application. You'll want to read through all of this, all the statements below. Again, with the reverse transcript, you can select not applicable. Application sharing, we'll say yes again. Again, I certify the information I have provided is complete and correct to the best of my knowledge. You'll select yes. And then this is the same one from before about your activities, service, talents, employment, etc. So you'll click that you agree that as well, okay? You'll double check this. You have saved the following scholarship essay, scholarship application essay, which is what we just typed or copied and pasted, okay? And I understand that all my saved essays will be submitted when I submit my application. So you just want to make sure that it is the application or the essay that you are intending to submit. So we'll click this, save and proceed. Okay, so it's going to bring us to this final page here. If you are not done. If you still need to go back and ask your counselor something, your parent something, do not click submit application now, okay? Your scholarship application has been saved up until this point. So let's say that you had logged out, and you should see here your scholarship application has been saved on page 6. All right, so you could log all the way out of Apply Texas and then log back in when you're next to your parent or your counselor, and you could click edit. You could edit whichever page you needed help with, and then you would go to this bottom part here, which would take you back to this page where you would maybe have to just answer those questions again. It looks like they saved, and then save and proceed. Only click this if you are absolutely ready to submit your application. You cannot go back in and submit an essay or change any of the information on your scholarship application once this has been submitted. So just double, triple check that you are absolutely ready. Once you are, go ahead and select that little checkbox there and click Submit Application Now. If you see these green words that say you have successfully submitted your application, so you're good to go, all right? And then we can go here to go to my applications. Double check on here, University of Texas at Tyler, fall 2021, and that your U.S. freshman application as well as your scholarship application both say submitted. If they both say submitted, you are good to go, all right? So that's how you complete an Apply Texas application, both an admissions application and scholarship application. If you guys have any questions, you can always reach out to us at admissions@uttyler.edu, and we would be happy to help you out. All right, thanks. Have a great day.